Dear customers, greetings from KrisKo software. In this video demonstration, I would like to show you how to perform employee day end. Employee day end is a feature to make sure all the financial transactions made during a day by an employee of the clinic is done properly, and all the fund is handed over to the accounts department, and to make these things very transparent among different teams. So how it is being performed, that I would like to show you. To perform that, first you need to click into the login button. Now I log in through a demo login here. Now after successful login, I come to the admin, and there is a link called employee day end. If I click into the employee day end, I get this window. Now employee day end is done by whom? Employee day end can be done either by the employee or by the supervisor of the employee. Now what is the objective? As I briefly mentioned in the beginning of this talk, the objective is that for a particular employee who is actually dealing with all the financial transactions with the customers, those who are actually visiting your clinic, making the payment and keeping those payments either in cash or card or all the transactions details, at the end of the day, once that particular employee is closing his or her day, it is the good process to make sure all the financial transactions are synchronized. Synchronized in what manner? Synchronized means whatever the fund is there with respect in front of with the employee who is actually dealing with all the financial transactions, is actually the same financial data is coming from the system. So let's see how it is being performed. I go to the employee day end, then I choose the hospital clinic, because financial transaction happened in a clinic, mainly in the pharmacy or in the pathology or in the hospital day-to-day activities. So I choose the hospital clinic, and then I can choose the which hospital. And then, because under a hospital there could be multiple clinics, under a pharmacy there could be multiple branches of the pharmacies, that all can be handled from the same login of the supervisor. Okay. Now then we can choose as it is a supervisor login can choose that which employee the day ending is important or required. Choose the demo user. So if you see, the total cash amount is coming as 2080. Okay, that means that particular employee, which is the demo user, that particular employee made a transaction of rupees 2080. More than transaction, what I can say is that collected that amount from the end customer. So now this 2080 should also be there, as it is coming from the system, it should also be there with the particular employee. Now if there is any mismatch, then this mismatch can also be written out. Now there are two ways the employee day end happened. One is that you are closing the day, means you are next day again you need to come and open that one, or you are making your handing off your sorry, you are shifting your duty to some other employee. So suppose here I am showing you that how to close the day. The shifting of to the other employee happens in the same manner. So I see that 2080 should be the total cash balance, because this is the one. But not only the 2080, only how this 2080 actually came. We can see the entire transaction details. For that, if you click into the view verify transaction details, it will show that how this 2080 rupees actually came from which patient and under what transaction reference. You see, these are the transaction reference, and at what time the transaction has taken place. Okay, and all these things breakup is there for this amount 2080. Now the employee want to make a day end, so shift handover amount, this is called shift handover amount. This should be 0, because it is calling, if it is shift handover amount generally happens, then it should be 2080, and shift handover to whom, that you can write. So but here no shift handover is happening, it is actually accountant handover amount, means this entire fund of 2080 employee, that is demo user, want to hand over to the account department. Then accountant handover amount will be what, 2080. Now if there is any mismatch, if it is 2070, then has to be written here, or if it is 2080, then you can write is that, handed over the amount, handed over, or you can write that day end successfully done. And then you can write that employee can write the password, and handover employee can also write the password in case of handover happens, because there's a financial transaction. To make this thing more transparent and secured and trustworthy, it is important both the employee should write the password, type the password, and the employee who is actually taking that fund during shift handover amount also writing the password. This is the employee password, and this is the handover employee password. But as handover is not happening here, and the amount is directly handed over to the accountant, then we can just close the day. You can close the day, and you see that employee day end was successfully completed. Now if this employee day end is not performed at the end of the day, of the end of the particular business to operation, this particular employee cannot start using the system in the next day. I repeat, employee day end is mandatory for each and every employee of the organization who are dealing with the financial transactions. If it is not done for those employees, next day that particular employee cannot perform any financial transaction. It will show error message. Now after getting that error message, that particular employee should approach the concerned supervisor, or can perform the employee day end by his or her own. I hope you understood the entire process of employee day end. In case of any question, never hesitate to drop an email to support@kriskosoft.com, that is support@kriskosoft.com. Thank you very much.